Creatures of Italian folklore. The history of Italian folklore has its roots in different cultural traditions that have left cultural legacies after their passage. Badalisc. The Badalisc, also known as Badalisc or Badalisc, is a mythological figure from the Camonica Valley in Lombardy. According to tradition, it is a mythological being who lives in the woods. Every year, during the period of the Epiphany, 5 to 6 January, the animal is captured by young people and brought to the village. Here is held the speech of the Badalisc, in which the animal reveals some Goliardic news about the community. On the second day, the Badalisc dinner is served, and in the evening, the monster is released and allowed to return to the woods. Badalischio. The Badalischio was a legendary creature of the Casentino Valley, province of Arezzo. This monster is similar to the basilisk. It is said to have been born in the Black Gorga, a small lake near the Fonte del Borbato. One of the Badalischio's hiding places was the wood next to the Fornesti Morena, in a place called Fosso del Diavolo. The creature was a kind of bizarre snake, the size of a man, wrapped in a newborn's linen bandages, with red eyes capable of paralyzing the unfortunate prey. Some legends state that its breath was extremely poisonous, even deadly. The Badalischio was often depicted with a crown or diadem, which sometimes covers his eyes. In other cases, it was described with cartilaginous wings and a bird's head, or with the appearance of a feline. Basilisk. A basilisk is a mythological reptile thought to be a snake king, who can induce death with a single glance in European bestiaries and folklore. According to Pliny, the Elder's Naturalis Historia, the basilisk of Cyrene is a small snake, not more than 12 fingers in length, that is so poisonous that it leaves a vast track of fatal venom in its wake, and its stare is also lethal. The basilisk, like other ancient legendary creatures, is the prototype of many monsters in Italian and European folklore. Befana. The Befana is lexical corruption of Epiphany, is a popular folkloric character linked to the Christmas holidays, typical of some Italian regions, and then spread throughout the rest of the country. According to tradition, it is a very old woman who flies a broom to visit the children on the night between 5 and 6 of January, the night of the Epiphany, to fill the socks left by them hung on the fireplace or near a window. Generally, children who have behaved well throughout the year will receive sweets, candies, nuts, or small toys. Conversely, those who have misbehaved will find the socks filled with charcoal or garlic. The origin of the Befana is perhaps connected to a set of pagan propitiatory rites, dating back to the 10th–6th century BC, linked to the seasonal cycles linked to agriculture in northern, central, and southern Italy. The ancient Romans inherited these rites, associating them with the Roman calendar, and celebrating the temporal interregnum between the end of the solar year, the winter solstice, and the recurrence of Sol Invictus. On the 12th night after the winter solstice, the death and rebirth of nature were celebrated through Mother Nature. The Romans believed that in these 12 nights female figures flew over the cultivated fields, to propitiate the fertility of future crops, hence the myth of the flying character. According to some, this female deity was first identified in Diana, while according to others she was associated with a minor deity called Sadia, or Ubundia. Another hypothesis connects the Befana with an ancient Roman festival, which always took place in winter, in honor of Janus and Strenuan, during which gifts were exchanged. The Befana, according to widely accepted interpretations in Central and Northern Europe, refers to the Celtic goddess of Perchta. Bellambriana. La Bellambriana is invoked in all difficult situations that compromise family serenity in the traditional folklore of Naples. She is generally a good spirit, but don't be offended, because she can cause the death of one of her family members. According to popular tradition, she manifests herself in the form of a gecko. The Benandanti. The Benandanti were associated with a pagan shamanic peasant religion. focused on earth fertility and Friuli between the 16th and 17th centuries. The Benandanti were small congregations that protected villages and crops against witchcraft. Bidrina. The Bidrina is a legendary animal that, according to folklore, dwells in the marshes of the Kraltani Seta area. This reptile is a green or blue snake, with red eyes and a mouth huge enough to devour children, lambs, and newborns. It is frequently characterized as a massive serpent, a hydra, or a mix between a dragon and a crocodile. It has a strong armor of glowing scales that renders it nearly invulnerable. Bisugaletto. The Bisugaletto is a legendary creature of the Veronese valleys. It has the body and head of a rooster, with a large red crest, wings full of spines, and a snake's tail. Its normal size is quite small, making it similar to a small snake, but the Bisugaletto can increase and decrease the length of its body at will. It is a very poisonous animal. It hatches from an egg laid by an old rooster and hatched by a snake or toad for 9 years. Bombassin. The Bombassin is a mythic creature from the Polesine and the Venetian lagoon traditions. The figure has the appearance of an enraged bull and represents the most fierce and savage part of human nature, and is traditionally associated with the festivities of Brusavicia and Carnival. Peasants often accompany him in parades, holding him with a chain, while the Bombassin frightens people and children along his way. His name is derived from the term bambagia, which is derived from the Greek word for cotton, which is used to make the black cloak worn by the Bombassin. More modern legends link him to the mythological creature of King Hadrian and the gnomes of Polesine. Bonacan. The Bonacan is a mythical beast depicted as a bull with inward curving horns and a horse-like mane. Its fur is typically depicted in medieval bestiaries as reddish-brown or black. Because its horns were worthless for self-defense, it was said that the Bonacan discharged vast volumes of caustic excrement from its anus at its pursuers, burning them and securing its escape. Borda. The Borda is a legendary creature that belongs to the tradition of Emilia-Romagna and other areas of the Po Valley. She is a witch who appears blindfolded, both at night and on foggy days, and kills anyone who has the misfortune to meet her. She is a personification of fear related to swampy areas, ponds, and canals, invoked by adults to scare children and keep them away from these dangerous places. Some scholars say that the etymology of the term Borda derives from the root bor, which should be traced back to Borvo, a Celtic divinity who presided over the thermal and spring waters.